In this final episode of our Hainan series, we'll live at large in this island's most famous resort town, Sanya. We'll get a taste of the luxury lifestyle, visit Sanya's most famous temple, and take in all the sun, sea and surf we can handle. So, stay tuned. Welcome back to our Hainan series. After 7 episodes, we finally made it to the south of this island and arrived at our final stop, Sanya. It's definitely worlds away from what we've seen in the west of the island, but then this is Hainan's most popular holiday destination. You know, if you had just one day here in Sanya, then you'd come here first, Luhuitou, because this is the highest point in the city, but compared to the ancient legend behind the statue, this city has absolutely seen explosive growth thanks to its tourism industry. You can see down there, that's Sanya Bay, and it's completely lined with literally hundreds of resorts and hotels, and they've even developed this new artificial island called Phoenix Island, which we have even more luxury resorts and apartments. So if you want to find your next holiday destination on a tropical island, make it here. Around 20 minutes drive from the city centre is the famous Yalong Bay. This place is a favourite of Sanya's more well-heeled visitors, so it's no wonder why you can find all the biggest luxury hotels here. Come in, come in.
So this is the main room.
The living room, right?
Yeah, the living room.
Where the president will be living.
It's not special to the president. Yeah. It can be the chairman of the company, the head of the company, the vice president.
Okay, okay.
So then we go that way.
And there are... what's over there?
And there is the bedroom there. It's not that big, but it's very cozy, you know. We set up fruits, coconuts for our guests here. We do provide wine, champagne, chocolate and cookies. With a big jacuzzi. The bathroom is even more exciting than the bedroom.
Wow, that is massive. It's like the same size as the bedroom.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's got to be a very important part of this presidential suite.
With the TV.
Wow, with the TV's a bit on the small side.
But still, there is a TV.
Whew, I could get used to this. And of course, all of the hotels at Yalong Bay have their own private beaches. With so many international faces, you'd almost forget you're in China.
Originally we are from Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yeah.
So the weather's a bit different then?
Little bit different, yeah, but we have the same Crimea. Like your Hainan, we have the same Crimea.
Okay.
It's like in Ukraine, so it's like in my motherland.
So you feel completely at home here?
Here it's much warmer.
Yeah,
warmer. Yeah.
I would imagine so. Yalong Bay sits at roughly the same latitude as Hawaii, and its 7-kilometre beach offers a host of activities like jet skiing, scuba diving and parasailing. There are also prime rock climbing locations on the 5 islands just off the bay. You'll have to take a boat there, of course. And since it's summer all year round here in Sanya, a lot of people are content to just lay on the sands or enjoy a cocktail and some good music at the bar. With Sanya's international airport only 30 minutes drive away, it's no wonder why people from all over the world
are flocking to Yalong Bay. Coming up next, we'll say spasiba to the offer of some authentic Russian cuisine, rock out to the best beats in town, and give a wedgie to an angel. Yeah, that's right, an angel.
I had to get up really early this morning because I wanted to come here to Dadonghai straight away. You see those three letters, they've got to be the nicest sounding letters in the alphabet. CDF. I bet you don't know what that means. It's not the China Defence Force. It's not cats, dogs or fish either. It's the China Duty Free. Got to get some prezzies.
Competing with the likes of Hawaii and the Maldives, Hainan is fiercely marketing itself as an international holiday destination. To that end, it's even removed visa requirements for over 20 countries. And the CDF is poised to make the best out of all this. Just like how you can't go to Japan without checking out its electronics, you can't leave Sanya without checking out its duty-free.
Sanya is getting relatively expensive these days, but there is one thing you can get on the cheap, and it's kind of hard to actually believe, but you can get these huge international name brands for, I hear, up to 35% discount. But there is one catch. You do have to be flying in and out of Hainan, so you have the air ticket to sample the duty-free. But I think even so, you can still do a bit of window shopping, and if you have the money for it, buy some nice presents for yourself and lots and lots and lots of friends that you might have back at home.
Here in Dadonghai, you can find a huge international community. But all it takes is one look at the shop names, and you'll realise one particular nationality stands out the most: the Russians.
So, as you could probably tell by now, there's quite a big Russian community here in Sanya. So I think when in Rome, do as the Russians do. Anyway, let me give you an introduction. This, as you know, is borscht. That's bielimeni, and that is beefsteaks chornavabierz. Beefsteak with mash. Bon appetit.
I'm famished from all that window shopping.
Yummy.
Right, time to work off all that excess baggage. Of the three main bays here in Sanya, Dadonghai Bay has arguably the biggest international presence and the largest waves. It's no wonder you see so many surfers here. As with all beaches, make sure you lotion up, unless of course you're a fan of turning as red as a lobster. However, if you'd rather eat seafood than turn into it, there are plenty of barbecue restaurants and bars lining the beach. Hard to imagine that just 20 years ago, all of this was still a relative backwater. How the times have changed. Since you're in the area, why not go for a bit of pampering by the beach? No tropical holiday is complete without some proper spa treatment, and many of the centres here specialise in traditional Chinese medicine. Nothing like a bit of acupuncture to cure those aching joints gained from the cold winters of Russia. As for nightlife, Dadonghai is also a favourite with the international crowd. Kind of like Lan Kwai Fong in Hong Kong. Here at the Dolphin Bar, the most common language you'll hear being spoken is English. It's a home away from home for many of Sanya's expats. People also come here for some steak and good old pub food. And of course, the live band.
ACDC. Yeah. About Jimmy, do we have some ACDC? Huh?
We're playing ACDC.
Yeah, ACDC.
Can you play some Iron Maiden? 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Actually, we're going to play Iron Maiden.
Don't be afraid to go up and ask for any song you like. I'm sure they'll happily oblige. Once a week, Filipino bands from all over Sanya congregate here. If you come at the right time, you might even get hauled up on stage to sing. Hey, singing on stage. What a frightening idea. Of course, it's also fine to just sit and listen to the awesome music. This is my song! Ah, you gotta love Eric Clapton. Yeah, just ignore that. You can't deny though, they're pretty good. Even the ladies outside are getting into it. Sanya is not just a holiday destination. It's also a second home for many of its older residents, who regularly come here to escape the cold of northern China. Granted, they might not be into this kind of music, but no worries, there's enough here to cater to all tastes. Fusion of East and West. That's what this place is. Although Sanya rose to fame because of its beaches, its rivers still play an integral role in the everyday life of this city. They're the homes of everything from the local wildlife to the multi-million-dollar luxury yachts anchored in its marinas. They're also home to the humble fishing junks that go out to sea every morning and come back with the catches that'll supply the restaurants and hotels around town. As for the kids, they have a great playground to fool around in. I might be a bit too old to join in though.
You're watching CCTV News, and I'm your anchor Tianran here reporting for Travelogue. Today we have an exclusive interview coming up with the Korean owner of this 3D art experience gallery. We have our reporter Tianran here, ready up the scene.
여기 와서 원래는 베이징, 상하이, 선전, 그다음에 저기 시거리 중 제가
I think the concept of this place is fantastic. Taking classic works of art and giving them a quirky modern finish. You just don't expect it. The owner tells me he collaborated with 19 other artists to bring these pictures to life. He wants to get young people interested in art, and what better way to do it than by allowing people to physically interact with the paintings. I've got to say, it's a pretty fun way to immerse yourself in the world of art. And since this place is right next to Sanya River, you've got no excuse to miss out on this. Coming up next, we'll pay a visit to a very tall lady, attempt to unlock the secrets of immortality, and go swimming with the fishes. Literally. About an hour's bus ride away from the city centre is Nanshan Temple. It gets its name from a famous Buddhist saying that refers to Nanshan Mountain as a place of longevity. No wonder this place gets so many visitors.
You know, Nanshan isn't just a popular tourist spot here in Sanya, but it's also actually becoming quite a big international pilgrimage for Buddhists all around the world. I mean, earlier we were at the pagoda that was just still being built, and now you can always see lots of international visitors here as well. So you never know. One day you might have all Buddhists from all around the world coming here to visit this.
As you can probably tell, Nanshan is a relatively new addition to China's temple collection. It was finished in 1998 to commemorate 2,000 years of Buddhism in China. But its youth doesn't make it any less important, as people from all over China, and even overseas, flock here to pray for good fortune and longevity. Although the temple is home to many statues of Buddhism's star players, like Sakyamuni himself and the Amitabha Buddha, the vast majority are dedicated to China's most popular deity, Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of mercy.
This has got to be one of the biggest collections of Guanyin statues I've ever seen. It's literally ceiling to pretty much floor filled with these statues. And not that I can afford it, I asked earlier, and apparently the cheapest price for one of these would be close to 30,000 RMB, which is about £3,000, and also much more than I could afford. But putting a statue here would grant you, hopefully, more luck, prosperity, health, etc., etc., since you're closer to Guanyin. And this wall seems to have been completely taken up, no matter how expensive the statues are. But these ones are still for rent.
Although there are plenty of attractions here to keep you on your toes, for some people, one of the highlights of going to a Buddhist temple is its food. This is an area where Nanshan's made a bit of a name for itself. All sorts of nutritious ingredients are used in Nanshan's dishes, all in line with its motto of longevity. But that's not the only surprise here.
Oh, that's my second helping. You know what, this is really gorgeous. They've got some really nice meat here, but I was actually really surprised because when I came in, the sign said vegetarian cafe, so I was expecting loads of salad, lots of greenery, but instead I came here to find loads of lamb, skewers, pork, everything. Well, this is really gorgeous as well. The thing that's surprising, of course, is that there's so much meat here, because this is obviously a Buddhist place, and Buddhists don't eat any meat. So in actual fact, all of this is tofu.
Finally, the star attraction of Nanshan Temple, the gigantic 108-metre statue of Guanyin. It's so important that planes coming to Sanya will go out of their way to fly around this statue before heading to the airport. If only I'd known.
What a commanding view. I mean, comparatively, Sanya Bay over there in the east seems to be completely world away from this peaceful site. But then again, we are standing at the site, at the foot of one of the world's tallest statues of Guanyin, and it's even taller than a Statue of Liberty. And to give you a bit of an idea of size, this is the toenail. I actually saw people praying to it earlier, but I think regardless of whether you're Buddhist or not, it's still pretty impressive.
Right at the foot of Nanshan lies Daxiao Dongtian Beach. It's not as lively as Sanya's other beaches, but this place has been a holiday destination for over 800 years. It's also said to have been home to Taoist immortals. I really should give this longevity thing a try.
Oh, hello there. You just caught me meditating. You know, about 800 years ago, one of the masters of Taoism used to meditate in that cave during the Song dynasty, and afterwards he went on to become an immortal. So I reckon if I stay here long enough, I'll probably at least live to be about 1 century years old. But I have to say, it is quite hard to imagine that just at the foot of Nanshan you could find this place, one of the cradles of Taoism, and also one of the earliest tourism spots in the whole of Hainan. But anyway, it's enough talking, back to meditating.
Immortality. Immortality. Okay, that's not going to work. Well, at least this is a good spot to chill out and enjoy the view. Those tourists in ancient times sure got it right.
The weather here in Sanya can get so hot during midday that probably one of the best times to sample its tropical weather is here at sunset. So actually I'm really glad I've come to the westernmost point in Sanya here, because even though it's not really suitable for swimming, it's probably one of the best places in the whole of this island to sit and listen to the waves and just look at that beautiful sunset. You can't forget that. Absolutely picture perfect.
It's a brand new day, and we're taking the first 8 AM ferry to Wuzhizhou Island. It's a short and sometimes choppy 15-minute ferry ride from the terminal. Wuzhizhou Island is famed for its excellent scuba diving and snorkeling, but I've come here to catch my breakfast.
I take my word back, it's not just a little bit choppy, it's very, very choppy. I get the feeling that this is probably what like those deep sea crab fishes must feel like on a day-to-day basis.
Right, time to get to work.
Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Be careful. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Fishy. Just a complete waiting game.
And there goes our first casualty to seasickness. It might not look like it, but we're rocking pretty badly. Plus we're not getting any fish.
Never mind. Changing to a new fishing spot because we just really couldn't catch anything. Oh! That's pretty big. And soon off back to sea. 这条漂亮. That is beautiful. 这是叫什么鱼啊？
苏梅.
Oh my god, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's a bit of a fighter though. We've been out to sea for maybe 20 minutes. None of us have caught anything, and the master of the ship has caught 2. Beautiful.
I'm not even hungry anymore. I guess we're all just glad to get back on land. Besides, there are plenty of other things to see and do on Wuzhizhou Island. I'm going to be very honest. The waters here are the clearest I've seen since arriving in Hainan. You could watch it all day.
See, we haven't just been walking around looking at all of the beautiful scenery, but we're here to do a bit of diving. And apparently, price-wise, it's okay. It's about $3.50 to do scuba diving. I think $5.80 for some real deep down diving. So we'll give it a look.
The prices are in RMB, of course.
Fantastic. There you go. The nice thing about this is it's subscription, so I can actually see down there.
Here we go. In case you're wondering, no, I haven't been photoshopped into the background. The fish swimming in front of me are real. The cameraman's just throwing fish feed in my direction. But even without the snacks, you can still spot all sorts of marine life everywhere you look. I guess it all makes sense then, that with such great underwater visibility and an abundance of coral reefs, that this place has been called a scuba diver's heaven. You can even get a cameraman to capture your every move.
This is the life. I mean, I went scuba diving just now, but I did see people doing parasailing earlier. Lots of people swimming as well. I think maybe a bit of surfing. Actually, there's a bit too much to do here. You can't finish it all in one day. So that's why some people have decided to stay at these villas, which I think is quite good actually. It's about 3,000 RMB per night, and they give you free buggies and free scuba diving, which is always very good. But I can't stay. I have to catch the last 5 o'clock ferry.
As always, the ride back is pretty choppy. Well, at least no one's thrown up this time round. There is just one last place we have to visit before we leave Sanya. And as you can tell from the crowds, we're not the only ones with that idea. Welcome to Tianran Haijiao, once the southernmost tip of Hainan. For the ancient Chinese, this place represented the absolute edge of China. The only things that lay beyond were the sea and the vast unknown. Today, Tianran Haijiao paints a different picture. Hainan, or south of the sea, is no longer a place of exile, but a true tropical paradise in every sense of the term.
The ancient Chinese named this place the ends of the sky and the edge of the sea, which to them pretty much meant the end of the world. But today, this place is no longer the end, but the start, for many people, of a trip of a lifetime on a tropical island that, to be honest, people from all around the world are flocking to. Unfortunately for us, this is the end of our trip around Hainan. So I hope you've enjoyed watching everything that there is to see and experiencing everything with us as well. I'm Tianran. Thank you for watching Travelogue, and I'll see you soon.